いうことで、アリのバグパイプレッスン第8回目です。今回も素敵なゲストに来ていただいていますけれども、今回はですね、なんと南アフリカから日本に来て今住んでいるという、ドミニクを紹介します。ドミニク。はいどうも。
こんにちは。
はい、こんにちは。So, first of all, tell me about yourself. So, how long have you been playing on pipes?
Well, I've been playing the pipe since I was a young boy, for about 14 years now, and I started learning from a friend of my grandfather's. We used to come and visit my grandfather's house, and from the very moment I heard the pipes, I just decided that I loved the sound, and yeah, it was definitely something in my blood. My grandmother's Scottish, yeah, and I fell in love with the instrument, and I've been playing ever since.
Is it popular to play pipes in South Africa?
I wouldn't say that it's very popular, but there is quite a sizable community of people that play. This is because the British obviously colonized various parts of the world, and South Africa is one of those places. So because the British Army brought in Scottish regiments, actually through war and military is how the bagpipes ended up in South Africa, but I learnt at my high school, so it's now become more of a cultural activity.
So your school got pipe band?
Yeah, so I went to Pretoria Boys High School, and I was the pipe major of the band there in 2007. At that time, the band had about 6 pipers and a tutor, 3 tenor drummers, a bass drummer, and 3 snares. So quite not a bad size for a high school band. And then we competed against other high schools that had it as well at competitions.
So, so could you show your pipes to them?
Of course.
Okay, I read.
So this is a set that I just recently brought over to Japan. It's actually made out of resin, so it's not a wooden set, but still has not a bad sound. So we play with the canister system. So this box is full of granules that help with controlling the moisture within the bag. Now in Pretoria, which is where I come from, that city is almost 2,000 meters above sea level, so there's very little humidity in the air, not a lot of moisture in the air. So I think unlike other places in the world, we sometimes use this system to try and put more moisture into the system, whereas I think generally it's more for taking out. In South Africa, my band plays with wooden McCullum chanters, and for a long time we've been playing with reeds from Australia called Gilmore. And I think that Gilmores work well in South Africa just because we have a similar climate and temperature. So those reeds have worked well for me, but other common reeds in South Africa are shepherds. Generally wedge cut reeds don't seem to work as well in South Africa. And I would also say that being so high above sea level, we tend to have very sharp G's, high G's and high F's, or G's and high G's and F's. So actually when my band had our chanters made, we intentionally moved the one note down. We asked the maker to drill the holes in a different place because just this kind of dry heat like really sharpens the top hand up a lot. And at the moment I'm playing Chris Armstrong's new drone reed.
Extreme or something?
Yeah, Extreme drone reed. So I've got one of those as a bass and a tenor, and then I'm playing a redwood drone reed for my middle tenor. I find that playing the same kind of reed in the bass drone and the outer tenor gives a nice balance, but then playing a different reed in the middle tenor gives it a slightly different sound, like a different zing. So that's maybe something you might want to experiment with, changing around your drone reeds and getting a nice balance.
Can you show us the drone reed?
Yeah, so I'm a drummer as well in my part time. So this is the redwood drone reed. Actually, sorry, I'm actually don't have the Chris Armstrong drones in the set of pipes right now, but that's what I was playing. I am playing here Henderson carbon fiber drone reeds. I've been playing these for quite a number of years, and they're very consistent and give quite a nice tone, I feel. Other than that, South Africa rarely plays on sheepskin bags, also because of this dryness that's in the air all the time. Generally, sheepskin bags tend to crack and leak very easily in South Africa, so we play on a synthetic bag system, just like a normal. I'm playing on a moose bag, but just this synthetic material, and I've got a water trap in here as well, just to catch some extra moisture. So the canister system, but not connected to the chanter for the extra moisture, just connected to the drones, and then the water trap as well.
So, is the chanter the set of the pipes?
This chanter is I actually don't know where this chanter came from. I just found it somewhere. I can't remember. It was a long time ago. But I feel like it just says Scotland on it. It doesn't even have a make. So, but I feel like you don't need to worry. I personally feel like you don't need to worry about playing all the same drone reeds, playing a particular kind. I think if you're a solo player, obviously if you're playing in a band, uniformity is good. It's good to play the same as everyone else. But if you're playing in a solo competition, I feel like you shouldn't let any of that worry you. You should be able to get quite a nice sound out of everything, but some reeds do work better in some chanters. It just so happens that the Gilmore I have works quite nicely in this chanter, so that's something you can maybe play around with. Maybe try a shepherd reed in the one chanter. How does that sound? Try a Gilmore, try what are some other ones that I've played before. I can't remember the name right now, but anyway, any reed that you have, even just an old cane reed, you can get a nice sound. And also, I was talking about the middle tenor drone. You could also try an old cane reed in there, which gives a real nice mellow sort of zingy tone, I would say, to your drone sound. Unfortunately, the only problem with that is the cane is changes more with moisture, because if you're playing two plastic drone reeds, they stay at the same. They don't move very much, the drones. So if you do want to put a tenor cane in the middle, you may just have to, after you play, retune the middle tenor, because they are a little bit less consistent, I would say.
I have a question. You used to play in a metal band, right? And what is different from playing solo?
Okay, well, I would say, well, yeah, so I played in a heavy metal fusion band with bagpipes, and I would say the biggest difference there is that we used a lot of our own compositions, so not playing traditional tunes. We experimented with kind of not copying, but mimicking or emulating guitaring riffs, and kind of trying to transpose those from the guitars onto the bagpipes. And that worked. But then as the band progressed, we added in bass and guitar, so that took away some of the rhythm responsibilities of the bagpipes. So now in the more recent stuff, the bagpipes have been more of a melodic sort of taking over the vocals of the band, except heavy metal vocals are.
There were three pipers, right?
There
So
were, yeah,
were they
three
using
pipers.
the same one? The same set of pipes?
No, we would all be playing different sets of pipes, probably different drone reeds as well, but we would play the same chanter. That's the wooden McCullum chanter that I was talking about. That's a really, really nice chanter. If you've only ever played on plastic chanters, you should really do yourself a favor and try playing on a wooden chanter. You can just feel it vibrating under your fingers. It's just playing on those wooden chanters is really amazing, and obviously gives a much more mellow tone, because sometimes plastic, especially if you're playing in the hot sun, can kind of sound a bit screechy. So a nice wooden chanter is definitely something to consider, I think. And I can maybe tell you about some tunes that I like to play. So I like to play 6/8 marches quite a lot. I like Bruce Gandy's Farewell to the Iron Horse. That's a good tune. And Fairview Cottage is another nice one that we played. And then I quite like light music. So jigs and reels. But I'm also I'm not a bad Strathspey player as well. So play some good Strathspeys, Tullach Castle, and Cabafay, the Strathspey version obviously. And the Islay Ball is another nice Strathspey that I like. And then I've played a little bit of Pibroch. Pibroch. 10 points if you can spell it properly. I can't. But there I played a tune called The McCrimmon's Sweetheart, which is a nice tune. It's actually about a cow, which is strange. But it's about one of those Highland cows, and that was this guy McCrimmon's love or something. But I like the Pibroch, and I would also suggest that it's a good thing to play Pibroch. It may seem old and boring and outdated and not maybe as fun as playing jigs or reels, but it does definitely teach you a lot of good skills. First of all, being able to blow for 10 to 15 minutes consistently without any cutting out, making sure that you can keep your blowing steady for all of that and keep the tone all the way through the tune. Also making sure that your instrument is set up in a way that it stays in tune, so you really have to make sure your pipes are well maintained, nice good hemp on all of the stocks, make sure all of your drones are taking exactly the same amount of air. Obviously some solo pipers obviously shave their reed a little bit just to make it a little easier when you are playing tunes that are 15 minutes long. Sometimes it's okay it's okay. You don't want to be struggling with that. And then obviously memorization. So Pibroch is a good thing that can really improve your piping a lot. And there are plenty of good tunes out there. There's one called The Little Spree, that's about a party. There's one called The Massacre of Glencoe, which is obviously about the camels who killed the McDonald's in their sleep. I'm a McDonald's, so I'm not going to speak about that right now. It's emotional for me.
Okay, thank you very much. And we got a...
Yeah? Oh, I just wanted to say that it's very interesting for me to come all the way to Japan and see that there are pipers here, and it's been great to meet Ali and show me all of the great things about Japanese bagpiping. So, 面白いです。
面白いです。So, it's not things about bagpipes, but what is your favorite in Japan?
My favorite thing in Japan?
Yeah, anything.
Favorite thing in Japan. That's a difficult one. I like a lot of things in Japan. I like the food, like okonomiyaki and hotate sushi, and I like the people are very friendly, yasashi, and I like anime a lot. I'm a big anime fan. Maybe one day we can start an anime about a Japanese bagpiper.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.
そしてですね、今日は、偶然なんですけど、スコットランド人がいるんですね、ここに。なので、スコットランドのグラスゴーっていうところが、中心の都市なんですけれども、グラスゴー、スコットランドイングリッシュっていうのがどんなのなのかをぜひ聞いてほしいと思って、ちょっと彼にも出演してもらおうかと思います。
こんにちは。
Okay, what is your name?
I'm Gareth.
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 Yeah. So say hello to everybody.
Hello. I am from Glasgow. I lived there for 11 years and then I moved. I think in Japan I've slowed down how I speak, but when I talk to somebody from Scotland, then I can get my accent back.
このようにですね、今まだちょっと分かりやすく喋ってくれてるんですけど、英語が母国語の人でも「はい」っていうようなことがよくあるすごいなまった英語なんですね。じゃあちょっとドミニクとちょっと2人で喋ってみてもらいましょうか。just talk about anything.
So, have you been to Scotland before?
I have, yeah. I've been to Scotland. I was there in 2012 in Glasgow, in your hometown, to play at the World Championships. And it was really good fun, that.
See, although I'm from Scotland, I've never actually been to the pipe band championships.
Oh, yeah?
I'd love to go though. I've seen lots of photos, so it looks awesome. Like my pal's dad, he goes, and it's just waves and waves of bands and just music. It looks great.
It's actually like, it's almost, I got the feeling of being at a music festival. There was that it was that big and that atmosphere there.
Yeah,
which is cool. But I mean, how do you feel as a Scotsman whenever you hear the pipes? Do you have some sort of attachment to it?
Of course. Unfortunately, my uncle passed away last year, and at his funeral we played the bagpipes were there, and the Amazing Grace was there, and it just bagpipes are sad. Especially Americans have kind of adopted it as well. You see, I know you kind of seen the movies as well, but I know it's actually true. The pipe bands marching through New York, and I think just the kind of the sound of it is quite emotional. It's quite strange.
It is. They say that it's the dirge, right? The dirge of the pipes. That's how they describe the. But I think it must have been even more hectic back in the day in the Highlands. You hear on a mountain in the distance a piper playing.
One of my favourite stories is during D-Day.
During what?
D-Day. Yeah,
like
when
World War II.
When Germany occupied France.
Oh.
And the British and Americans invaded the north of France to defeat the Germans in Normandy. Yeah. And there's a great story about a piper who he didn't have a weapon on him, so the boat landed on the beach to fight the Germans, and he just played the pipes. That's all he did. He didn't have a weapon, and it miraculously survived.
Survived?
Yeah, I think that's amazing.
Actually, I heard that he had a broadsword. I heard that he didn't have a rifle,
No.
but he had his pipes and a broadsword.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's just amazing, just like a battle scene, and then just the pipes playing in the background. You must be thinking, let's get to them.
I also read an article about that, and the Germans, they had no idea what he was or what the instrument was. And then his pipes took a bullet. So his pipes took his bass drone was hit by a bullet, so he couldn't play anymore. But he did at the beginning.
I think that's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
はい、ありがとうございます。ということで、ちょっとこの話は尽きなそうなのでそして私がこの後このテロップを作るのに本当に作れるのかどうかっていう疑問もありますけれども、今日はこの辺で終わりにしたいと思います。じゃあドミニクとガルスありがとうございました。バイバイ。
ありがとうございます。じゃあね。